Hey guys, a little bit later today or tomorrow I'm going to pick up my CA20, which brings me to, there was a small bit of confusion on what's going on with that CA20. I'm not going to stick it straight in the 620 as soon as I get it. I do have another chassis, a 720 chassis that has disc brakes and all of that. It's going to go in that, and I'm going to build the car around the chassis. The body of the 620 will go on that, so I'm not just going to slap it straight in and run with it. It's gonna get supporting mods as well. Eventually I'm going to do a tube frame chassis, so it's going to develop over time. It's very much a budget racing machine at the moment, hence why I'm running crap motors. End goal would be a LS1 or something like that, but at the moment I'm not that financial. So budget racing. Anyway, 620, what do we have done? I finished the exhaust, so I'll show you where it's poking out. Right there. There's a cat under there, and it's all pie cutted all the way through. Hello. Oh, you. Anyway, yeah, I'll give it a kick. Oh, I can't right there because it's on a hill and it doesn't have a handbrake. Shh, don't tell anyone. Alright, I'm going to move it so it doesn't roll, and then I'll kick it in the guts so you can have a listen. Kick it in the guts means start it if you're from another country. That's Australian slang for you. Right. Yeah, just give me a minute. It's stable now, so I think it's out of gear. Actually doesn't sound too bad. Almost sounds like a Honda. Nah, it doesn't. It's straight through muffler, nothing else. Straight through pipe basically through a straight through muffler. So yeah, it's not over loud. Neighbours shouldn't hate me too much. I'm not the sort of person that sits there and revs their car for no reason anyway. What else have I done? I've raised it about an inch. Before the wheels were, well, that was basically at the top of the tyre. The reason I've done that is because it was sitting on the bump stops, and Collinggrove is quite undulating, it's quite bouncy, so I just needed a little bit more suspension travel. Might stop the bounciness a little bit. So yeah, I gave it an extra 2 degrees of timing, so sitting at about 10-11 degrees advanced now. So I heard it, the revs pick up a bit when I turn the distributor up, so hopefully it's got more power. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the GoPro in the car and we'll go for a quick drive. Okay guys, so I have entered the next race on the 30th of this month. It's only a couple of weeks away, so it's pretty much ready to go. I've got one little problem. The counterweight on the secondary is getting jammed open sometimes, so might need a little bit of a tweak so it doesn't get stuck. But yeah, I'm going to take my timing light and everything with me when I go racing to make sure that it's all good. But it sounds like a race car now. Still a little bit slow, but I think I've improved it a little bit. Let's go. Not loud at all. I think it's actually louder on the inside of the car than what it is on the outside, because it's got no carpet or anything. But that was fun. Could still do with another 50 horsepower. Well, that was fun. I think one thing I can do is the gap between second and third gear. The gear ratio is too far apart. So what I might do is, I do have a set of 15s. They don't look as good as these, but I might put the 15s on for racing with a little bit lower profile tyre. That way it might close the gap between first and second and third gear a little bit by dropping the gear ratios. Well, probably not so much close the gap, but make third gear a little bit lower ratio. It'll make all of them a little bit lower ratio, but the trouble is, the first hill at Collinggrove, it's quite steep, and it's revving its ring off in the second gear, and as soon as I change into third, it dies down and loses its momentum, and that's where I'm losing all my time. That's why I'm trying to get a little bit more power to get it over that hill, to get the momentum going. Sounds good. Sounds like a race car now, and it's about to rain. Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, so I'm ready to race again next time out. But I don't think I'm going to get the wheels done before then. I'll see what I can do, but I need to buy a couple of tyres and get them fitted if I do so. And also got a one of the lug nuts on the front wheel. I can't get it off, it's stripped. So I'm going to have to remedy that before I change wheels. Let's go down and look at my motor, engine, motor, whatever you want to call it. My donk. Right. What we have here, CA20. Now it came with a gearbox, and I do believe these are the same gearbox as, well, relatively the same gearbox as what runs in the 240Z and various other Nissans, and all you have to do to put them in a 240Z, besides fiddling with the rear engine mount, is swap the bell housing over and make the front input shaft bearing holder a little bit bigger. I think there is one other thing you have to do, but that gearbox is worth more than what I paid for the whole lot. So I paid $350 for a fuel injected CA20, not the best motor, but it's got a little bit more horsepower than the J15, which is what I need, plus 5-speed gearbox on the floor. So 5-speed, that'll help my ratios. Got the tail shaft. I've got the exhaust manifold only for the O2 sensor, because I've ordered some manifold plates to make some headers for it. Starter motor, engine mounts, radiator. Not sure if it'll fit, but I'll see. I took it anyway just because. So it's mainly all there. Bolt in. I've got the ECU and loom. Yeah. So fun times ahead. So I've got to go pick up my other chassis, which I probably won't do for a couple of weeks yet because I'm busy. But yeah. So I've got to get it out of the car and find somewhere to put it right now. Yeah. Ugh. Fun. And it's about to rain, so I've got to get into it. Okay, guys. You ever have one of those weekends where you've done heaps, but you still feel like you've done nothing? Yeah, that's one of my weekends. I guess it's all preparation for bigger things. But yeah, I was trying to clean my shed out and I got more stuff in here. So I got the CA20 sitting here waiting. Just looks like a big pile of mess right now. In the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm most likely going to go and pick up the chassis that I'm going to put the CA20 in. And then I'm going to mount the CA20 in that chassis straight away and wheel it outside in the corner and put a tarp over it until I can deal with it. Gets it out of my shed and it gets me started on the race chassis project. After I unloaded the CA20, I started making up the brackets for my lower valance section of my 240Z. This is the customer one, so I can't use that, but I did use it to make the patterns for these sections here. I just got to bend up along this line to make them the same. Then I'll take it up to the 240Z during the week at night time, and I'll get them in the right spot and tack weld them on. So yeah, that's where I'm at. One day I'll get time to clean my shed out properly, but so busy. Alright guys, well I'm going to sign off now. Yeah, you know, I haven't said it for a while, but subscribe, like, share, all that stuff, that'd be great. And I will see you next week on the 240Z for a change. Yes.